Be a really, really good one. Let's fire straight into it and get it read because it sounds amazing. So here it is, issue number 7, The Mighty Avengers, The Darkest Hour, featuring the combined menace of the exquisite Enchantress, the evil Executioner, and the diabolical Dr. Zemo. Iron Man, you chose to ignore a call from us 6 days ago. How do you explain that deed? Better speak up, mister. We're all waiting. At a special board of inquiry session, the Avengers meet to consider a most serious charge brought against one of their own members. Among those present, we find Thor, Giant Man, and the Wasp, Captain America and Rick Jones, and the accused, Iron Man. Magnificently written by Stan Lee, majestically illustrated by Jack Kirby. Let's fire into it, guys. I can offer no defense. I allowed a personal problem to affect my sense of duty. We are pledged not to pry on each other's personal lives, yet, if there is something we can do, no, there is nothing anyone can do. But gosh, Iron Man, if you won't level with them, how can the Avengers help? Too late for that now, Rick. Thor and Giant Man are ready for the vote. Iron Man, we have reached a decision. It is a most painful one. We find you guilty of failing to answer an Avengers alarm. It's what I deserve, though I can't tell them I had almost foolishly decided to quit the Avengers because of my injured heart, but they must never know that I am really Tony Stark, whose life hangs by a thread. You tell him the sentence, Thor. You are hereby all suspended Avengers activity and duties for a period of 1 week. You may go now. At that very moment, an unimaginable distance away in the fabled kingdom of Asgard, home of the legendary Norse gods, a similar scene is taking place as Odin, Lord of Asgard, thunders, I banish you both from this realm. You are sentenced to spend your exile upon the planet Earth. My lord, have mercy upon the executioner and me. Quiet, Enchantress. We are lucky to escape with our lives for attacking his son Thor not long ago. Let the weapon and the helmet of the executioner be stripped from him. And now send them both across the rainbow bridge to Earth. Odin has spoken. Bah! Among the weak mortals of Earth, what need have I of my helmet or axe? My power will be supreme. Perhaps there I can manage to finally win the heart of the beautiful Enchantress. At least on Earth, I'll be near the handsome Thor again, and then who knows? And so, in a ceremony of incredible pomp and pageantry, the evil executioner is divested of his own awesome symbolic axe and his almost impregnable helmet, while the exquisite Enchantress allows her thoughts to turn to the mighty Thunder God whom she has loved for ages. But there is another who watches the scene with great relief welling up in his scheming heart. It is Loki, the Thunder God's sinister arch enemy. I am fortunate that Odin does not suspect they were merely following my suggestions when they attacked Thor. My plan may yet succeed. With both of them on Earth, the accursed Thor will never be truly safe. And so the Enchantress and the Executioner cross the eternal Rainbow Bridge, beginning their long dramatic exile upon the planet below. And so it comes to pass. What's going on here? What's holding up traffic? Who are those two? What are they advertising? Look, Matt, how you and your lady friend dress in public is your business. So as long as you don't go breaking the law, but when you start interfering with the traffic round here, you dare speak thus to me. Quiet, you fool. He is as guardian of the law. It is necessary to obey him. And so reluctantly the executioner allows himself to be led from the scene. What manner of men are these? None is clad in battle armour. We have much to learn about the customs of earth. See how they stare at me. This causes me great displeasure. At a gesture from the fearsome-looking warrior, the crowd scatters, instinctively sensing the superhuman power of the stranger in their midst. Away, puny mortals, let none crowd about me. Where the executioner walks, he walks alone. See, but they are so numerous, as they are many as the sands on the beach. This is not so good. We do not understand them. We are strangers in a strange world. We need an ally, one to lead us to fight with us. But who? And then fate steps in as the enchantress sees a headline on a newspaper beneath her feet. Leader of Masters of Evil escapes. Zemo flees country. Perhaps he is the one we seek. But let us turn our attention now to a gym on the other side of town where we find the colourful Captain America beginning one of his daily workouts. Are you sure these are the toughest wrestlers you've got? Mister, you'll know it when the ambulance comes for you, but it's what you said you want. All right, boys, I'm paying for this, so give me my money's worth. Let me some action. Come on, Crusher, let's get it over with. Fast, he'll be a pusher. Oof. Gentlemen, the enemies I'm liable to meet in the future aren't apt to go easy on me. Come on, you guys, give him what he wants. Pile on. Hey, where'd he go? Look out. What's happening? He's like a greased lightning. Here, I'll stay long enough for you to grab me. Now act like you mean it. I'm with you, Crusher. Give him the old 1-2. Don't worry, bud. We mean it, all right? Let's show him he ain't as good as he thinks, Moose. Careful, boys. This is a new maneuver I've dreamed up. Here it comes. Thwomp. Minutes later. Thanks, fellas. Same time tomorrow. You kidding? If we want any more action, we'll get it in the ring where it's safe. Later, as the indomitable adventurer returns to his headquarters with his young friend Rick Jones, all my training, all my skill, and still I was unable to save Bucky years ago. Say, Cap, look what I found, tucked away in one of the closets. Isn't this the outfit your ex-partner Bucky used to wear? Look how it fits me. Anyone would think I'm your partner. What's wrong? Why are you looking at me that way? Take it off. I never told you to wear it. But Cap, what's bugging you? I didn't do anything. Gosh, I didn't know you were going to get all angry. All I did was, I said, take it off. Don't ever call yourself my partner again. I lost my partner. I'll never forgive myself for letting it happen, and I'll never let it happen again. But if anything happened to you, too, I'll never have another partner. I won't be responsible for another life. Never. It was Zemo who caused Bucky's death. I'll never rest till I've found him. Do you hear? Zemo will pay for what he's done. And even as the vengeful Captain America speaks, the man he sits on a crude throne, deep in the wilds of South America jungle, where he reigns as an undisputed ruler. From this day on, I'm raising taxes you must collect for me. Don't just stand there. You worthless fools, go to the tribes. Start collecting my tribute. This is Zemo's command. Faster, I must have treasure. More and more treasure. I must buy weapons, equipment. Before I'm finished, the whole world will pay homage to Zemo the King. And then, as the evil tyrant examines the wealth in his treasure room, Zemo, you are the one we seek. What? Who are you? Where did you get here? She is the Enchantress, and I am the Executioner. Nara, stay back. No one treasure. Mortal fool. Your so-called treasure is meaningless to us. It would do you no good to rage against us. Visual images are here. Our real selves are in the city called New York. We have come to ask you to join forces with us. We know that Captain America is your mortal enemy. We've come to help you defeat him. Our power is greater than his, and in return, you can help us get our revenge upon Thor. By thunder, I'll do it. My other two allies, the radioactive man and the melter, are still in the hands of the police, back in America. But with tools such as you beside me, I can still accomplish anything. We'll begin immediately. So be it. My limbs thirst for combat. Somehow, some way, I've got to think of a scheme to make the mighty Thor mine. Sometime later, the giant man and the wasp prepare for a short journey to New England to begin a scientific investigation of insect life. We won't be gone too long. If you need us, use your special radio wavelength to reach us. You can reach him poking around in ant hills. As for me, I'll be shopping in some of those fabulous Cape Cod antique stores. You'll be typing my research notes, young lady, or else you find. You, sir, are about as romantic as the rotor blade on this silly old plane. Do not be late for our next meeting, Iron Man. Will begin. Now, I too must return to the other matters, as so my friends, until next time, farewell. Boy, you really blow up a storm with that hammer of yours. Stand back, Rick. Give him room. Looks like some guys will do anything to save plane fare. Right, Cap? We mustn't joke about such a man. We're privileged to call him friend. Later, as the colourful masked Avenger and his young companion take a short cut through the park, they're unaware of a grim-faced, silent stranger who has been patiently stalking them. I have timed it perfectly. This is the correct moment now to show myself. I don't know anyone was in that thicket. Usually I can hear the slightest footfall. It takes a very special person to catch me by surprise. Captain America, I must speak with you. It is a most important matter. Allow me to introduce myself. I am Hans Gobelvelt, formerly second in command to the infamous Dr. Zemo. Anyone who is associated with Zemo is an enemy of mine. That makes you an ex-Nazi criminal too. Wait, you must not lose your temper. I have come to repent, to undo some of the harm I did in the past. Easy, Cat. You can't just go around fighting guys because there used to be. He's more than just an ex. He's my one chance to find Zemo again, where he's hiding talk. That's why I have searched for you, to tell you that the evil carved a small empire in an uncharted area of the Amazon jungle. I can tell you how to find it. Seconds later, after the man who calls himself Hans Grubervelt has finished talking, that's all I need to know. Nothing can save Zemo from me now. Cap, wait. You remain here, Rick, at Avengers headquarters, Control Central. What I must do now, I must do alone. It worked. And so the trap is sprung. The one called Giant Man will be away for days. Iron Man 2 has left the scene, and I have lured Captain America to a far distant land. That means only Thor remains. Now he will have to face the Enchantress and the Executioner alone. Later, Thor! Thor! What is that strangely haunting call I hear? It is coming from below, from down there. It is the Enchantress. My spells are as potent as ever. This time I shall triumph. Then, before the mighty Thunder God can shield himself, your will is my command. I am your master. You must obey the Enchantress. So great is his power that my spell will only last for a brief minutes, but once I reinforce it with a special brew, it will last long enough to suit my purposes. Drink, handsome one, drink deep, noble Thor. I've done it. The rest is child's play for me. And with the Avengers safely gone, there'll be none to interfere, none to help him until my spell is complete. In the time that follows, the exquisite Enchantress, aided by the effects of her powerful potion, weaves one of the strongest spells ever recorded as she conjures up images of the Avengers for the captive Thor, images which make him see them as evil, dangerous menaces. Then she causes him to see himself as the only avenging hero capable of halting the threat of the Avengers. He thinks of himself as mankind's last hope in battling the mighty super team. Over and over, the image growing stronger each time until it is virtually branded into the Thunder God's subconscious, until he feels he must save humanity by battling the attacking Avengers. And now my work is done. When Thor awakens, he will feel that the Avengers are his mortal enemies. Soon there will be a battle, such as the planet Earth has never known, and when it has ended, I shall devote all my talents, all my energies, to making this most desirable of living beings become my own beloved. Awake, Thor. There is much for you to do, Thunder God. The planet Earth holds many enemies of mankind, many enemies of yours. Do you know who they are? Of course, though they have posed as my friends, now I truly know them for what they are. But what of these friends of Thor's? One of them is bailing out over a defense uncharted part of an Amazon jungle at that very moment. Wherever you are, Zemo, I will find you. And hate-filled eyes watch from the thickest below. The executioner was as good as his word now to prepare for Captain America's final defeat. At an imperial signal from Zemo, a concealed launching site is uncovered and a complex gas-filled missile heads for the unsuspecting shootist. But although he is taken by surprise, the battle-owned brain of the man whom the world calls Captain America devises a protective plan almost instantaneously. Gas! I've got to pull my chute down around me fast. The tightly woven nylon cloth will shield me from the fumes, but I've got to break out before I land. It will require split-second timing. Then, at the last possible instant, a sticking, sharp-edged shield cuts its way through the cloth, and here it comes, the moment of impact. Twisting his supple body like an aerialist in flight, guiding himself towards the softest, thickest cluster of lips, the gallant Avenger crouches behind his sensational shield, letting it absorb the initial brunt of the collision. Whoosh! I did it. Seconds later, oh no, I didn't go through all that, only to be beaten by some aborigine with a pot gun. Here's a little message you can take back to your mister. Tell him it's from Captain America. Clank. I never dreamed he'd give such a good account of himself, but he must be stopped. After him. Get his shield. Do as your mother commands. Get his shield. Can't waste time with these unknowing pawns. I've got to get to Zemo. But first, I'll snare my shield before they get it. Vaulting to the spot, with blinding speed, the astounding Captain America scoops up his shield between his hands, now to find a soft landing spot again. But unexpectedly, he crashes through a primitive, camouflaged big game trap. Ah, there's some sort of pit below me. It's a trap for snaring carnivorous beasts, but it's deep enough to hold a dinosaur. What have I got myself into? Meantime, back in New York, a raging Thor, anxious to battle the Avengers, has to return home, radioed Giant Man to return home as soon as possible. And so, here comes their jet copter now. And so the mighty Thunder God, still under the influence of the exotic Enchantress, prepares to attack his unexpected fellow Avenger. Giant Man and the Wasp are evil and must defeat them for good of mankind. While aboard the jetcopter, why do you think Thor radioed us to return immediately, Hank? I don't know, Jan, but we'll soon find out. I see him below us. He's coming toward us. but his expression, his face, something's wrong. Jan, shrink to wasp size on the double, condition red. Thor's attacking us. A split second later, shattered by the force of the Thunder God's hammer, the jet copter falls apart as the wasp flies to safety, while Giant Man causes himself his largest possible size, thereby having the smallest possible distance to fall. I saved myself by becoming 40 feet high, but I've overextended myself. I'm too big, too weak while this size. I'm even too weak to quickly reduce my size, and here comes Thor. All I can do is flip myself out of his way till I can learn what this is all about. He must have gone. And not far away, Anthony Stark recharges his life-giving chest device as he watches a TV show at home. I never realised how much being an Avenger meant to me. I can't wait till my period of banishment is over and I'll be able to rejoin my fellow adventurers. Then suddenly, he hears. We interrupt this program with an urgent bulletin. The mighty Thor has run amok in the heart of the city. At this very moment, he is battling Giant Man, one of his former allies. No one seems to know. Moving like a man possessed, the handsome millionaire switches on his set and dons the most famous suit of armor in the free world. Banishment or no banishment, the time has come for Iron Man to enter the scene again. Meanwhile, as Giant Man's overtaxed, oversized muscles begin to wilt under the superhuman strain imposed upon them, Thor closes in for the final blow. I have got to find a way to save Hank. But before the awesome hammer can strike, the wonderful wasp buzzes around the entranced thunder god, distracting him until, at last, here comes help. And indeed, help is at hand, the glistening form of the powerful Iron Man. I've got to get Thor off balance. Only the concentrated blast from my magnetic repulsor can do it. Iron Man, what is it? Why is Thor attacking us? What happened while we were gone? I don't know, Wasp, but I won't rest until I've found out. And from a nearby vantage point, the two strange newcomers to Earth, who are responsible for the melee, watch with sinister satisfaction. Perfect. Perfect. Sooner or later, they'll destroy each other just as Zemo will destroy Captain America. But will he? I'd better make sure all is going well with our mortal partner. That Odin did not take all my powers from me. Here on Earth, there are still many forms of enchantment at my command, such as this one. Ah, Zemo is a fool. Look, Captain America still lives. He is trapped at the bottom of a pit, but he is still alive. He must not escape, although it strains my power to the nearby breaking point. I must try to reach him. It's working. I can feel it. Just another minute more, and I'll cause a cave-in in that pit, sealing him within. But having been trapped in the fire of many battles, the colourful crusader quickly turns every danger into his own advantage. By protecting myself with my shield, I'll soon be able to use these falling rocks to get out of here. And finally, when the cave-in has ended, perfect, there are just enough rocks to give me a chance to climb to the surface. And now to settle accounts with the murderous Zemo. But Zemo has noticed Captain America's new appearance and quickly barks an order. The Vibragun! Faster, you lazy dolts! Hit him with the Vibragun! However, the most skillful fighting man of our time, trained to make use of anything he finds on the field of battle, quickly seizes the top of a giant flexible palm, bending it back as far as it will go. I've only got seconds in which to strike, but those seconds are all I need. Thwang, thwap. So far, so good. Now to reach that vibrogun before his men recover. Thwum! Flee, the masked one fights like a demon. Come back, you jackals. You can't desert me now. Back, I say. But even as the frantic Zemo shouts in vain, the furious force of his own weapon shatters his primitive palace, bringing it down with a resounding roar. That finishes his palace, and now for Zemo himself. Then the grim-lipped Avenger turns vibrogun and, first I'll make sure my shield is firmly magnetized to my usually hidden glove magnets. And now I'll wait the sound of an aircraft beyond those trees. He's trying to escape me again. He's deserting his kingdom, his subjects, heading for the States. But this time he's going to have an unexpected passenger. Thanks to the transresistor powered magnets Tony Stark helped me design for my battle shield. Meanwhile, many miles to the north, Iron Man's repulsor's power begins to weaken as the mighty Thor breaks his spin by hooking his hammer onto the nearest solid object. It looks bad. Can't hold him at bay much longer. Back on his own 2 feet again, Thor battles with the desperation of one in a trance. You cannot dodge my hammer any longer. But why, Thor? Why are you doing this? Why are you fighting us? However, before the Thunder God can answer, a revitalized giant man down to his fighting size of 12 feet again lashes out with the speed of a python. All right, Thor, it's time for you to do some explaining, mister. I shall do my explaining with my avenging hammer, which is returning to me even now. Can't stop him from catching it. He's too strong. If he hits me with it, I'm a goner. I'll have to drop down to the ledge below. But before the enraged Thor can give chase, hold it, Thor. We've got some unfinished business, remember? There's only one answer. He must be under some sort of hypnosis, and I have an idea how to break it. That hypnotic spell. I must time it just right, catch the sun's reflection at the perfect angle. Now, that blinding light, I can't see. It's working. He's stopped. His eyes are clearing. I knew the light of the sun would dispel any sort of hypnotic influence. He's himself again. Iron Man, what are you doing here? Is your week's banishment already ended? And observing from a safe distance, we find we've failed. Thor is no longer under my spell. Bah! It is as if I've always said brute strength is the only answer. The strength of the executioner. I dare not tell him I feared his strength, feared he might harm the handsome Thor. Thor, the one I hope will someday be mine. Look, a ship is approaching, the ship of Dr. Zemo. Quickly, the Enchantress gestures. At that instant, a mystic force seems to change the course of Zemo's ship, heading towards the Avengers. My ship, it's no longer under my control. Who could have power to do this? It is I, the Enchantress. I shall guide you to the Avengers. There they are. I'll get them all at once with the withering blast of my giant stun gun. But the evil Zemo is unaware of his power, who has ridden the outer shell of the ship all the way from the jungle. Lucky for me, he flew at low level to avoid the probing at radar. And now it's time I joined my host before he does any harm with his ship's weapons. Crash! See that? It was Zemo. First he fired at us, then he suddenly changed course. Now that my brain is clear once again, I remember that female I saw. She was the Enchantress. Because of her, I fought you. I was entranced. Executioner, quick! Zemo's in trouble. I used a simple spell to bring the ship here, where you can aid our evil partner. Hurry! I've waited years for this moment, Zemo, for the revenge I'm now about to extract. Ha! Mortal fool, you shall have to wait still longer. His hand, the executioner subjects the mortal Captain America to a pressure equal to 100 times the force of gravity. This will prevent you from interfering with us any more today. No human can feel it and remain Quickly, put Captain America out of the ship. We'll need all our speed. The Avengers are coming after us. Hurry, they'll reach us in seconds. Moving with surprising speed, the executioner leaves the unconscious Avenger on the rooftop and carries the Enchantress into Zemo's ship, bolting the hatch door shut behind him. And then, we saved Zemo from Captain America just in time. No one can stop us now. Here we go. But the fleeing triumvirate of the evil failed to reckon with the awesome power of Thor's hammer and the raging fury of his anger. Spin, my mighty mallet, spin and cause an all-consuming space warp. A space warp big enough to absorb Zemo's entire ship and the merciless beings within. Thor, what did you do? Where is Zemo going to end up? None can say. A space warp can lead anywhere, to a different city or a different universe. What about Cap? Has he? He's coming too now. Don't worry, he'll be good as new in a few minutes. That is fortunate for us. We shall soon need all our strength. If the Enchantress is among us, then the Executioner must be also. Their power is greater than any mortal can suspect. Together with Zemo, they may be as strong as we. No matter how strong they are, we'll find them. And when we do, nothing will save them. Nothing. And when they do, as indeed they will, you'll be there too, sharing all of the thrills and excitement. This is our pledge to you in the glorious new Marvel Age of Comics. Well, that's the end, guys. I hope you all enjoyed it and catch me with the next. Until next time, peace.